There are moments in history when a single idea, born from a few ambitious minds, sets in motion a century of change. The story of Chevrolet is one such moment. It all began on November 3rd, 1911. The world was different. Horse-drawn carriages, sputtering automobiles, personal transportation was being radically redefined. In the bustling industrial heart of Detroit, Michigan, two men with different backgrounds, one vision. Louis Chevrolet, William C. Durant. They were the architects of a future automotive icon. Louis Chevrolet, born for speed. Swiss-French race car driver and engineer, already known in the thrilling, dangerous world of early racing. He understood performance, mechanics, and the visceral rush of a powerful machine. William Billy Durant, the ultimate businessman, master strategist and industrial magnate. He'd co-founded General Motors in 1908, then been forced out. Durant wouldn't accept defeat. Their partnership began with a simple, powerful idea. Make a car that was stylish, substantial, with more features and greater refinement than utilitarian rivals, starting with a single handshake and a bold dream in Detroit. The early American automotive landscape was dominated by one colossal figure, Henry Ford and his Model T. The Tin Lizzie was a marvel of mass production, an affordable and brutally simple machine that had put millions of Americans on wheels. For any new company, competing with Ford was like challenging a titan. Yet, this was precisely the battle that William C. Durant intended to wage. Louis Chevrolet had envisioned high-performance, upscale cars, but Durant wanted volume and power by challenging Ford directly. That split in vision would push Louis Chevrolet out, while Durant's plan set Chevrolet on a path to explosive growth. Durant's counter-move was the Chevrolet Series 490, introduced in 1915. The name was marketing genius. Its initial price of $490 undercut the Model T. Unlike the starkly functional Ford, the 490 offered extras: electric starter, electric lights, giving more value for a similar price. The advertising slogan, "The product of experience," framed Chevrolet as engineered and experienced. Offering more car for the money became Chevrolet's identity, appealing to families and individuals who wanted reliability plus modern comfort and style. The Series 490's success fueled Durant's larger plan. Profits and soaring Chevrolet stock gave him leverage to retake General Motors. Durant traded Chevrolet stock for GM shares, quietly building control. By 1918, he had succeeded. Durant returned to lead General Motors and brought Chevrolet into the GM family. That merger was a pivotal moment in automotive history. Chevrolet was positioned as GM's volume leader, set to take on Ford for mass-market supremacy. As part of GM, Chevrolet gained immense resources, advanced research and development, vast manufacturing capabilities, and a nationwide dealer network. Integration solidified Chevrolet's foundation and readied it for decades of growth. Now, as a GM division, Chevrolet was no longer a scrappy upstart. It was a rising giant, ready to build its empire. With the financial and industrial might of General Motors behind it, Chevrolet entered the 1920s with a clear mission: to become America's best-selling automobile. The brand refined its strategy, focusing on steady, incremental improvements and a deep understanding of what the average American family needed in a vehicle. While Ford famously offered the Model T in any color so long as it is black, Chevrolet began to introduce a variety of body styles and color options, recognizing that car buyers desired a sense of personal expression. This philosophy of providing choice and style at an affordable price point proved to be incredibly effective and deeply resonated with the public. By 1927, Chevrolet achieved the unthinkable. It outsold Ford for the first time. This victory was the culmination of years of persistent effort and a keen awareness of the market's evolving tastes. The introduction of the Stovebolt six-cylinder engine in 1929 was another landmark achievement. Advertised with the slogan, "A 6 for the price of a 4, this engine was smoother, quieter, and more powerful than the four-cylinder engines common in low-priced cars. It gave Chevrolet a significant technological advantage and cemented its reputation for delivering superior value. The brand was no longer just an alternative to Ford. It was setting a new standard for what an affordable car could be. Throughout the Great Depression of the 1930s, a time of immense economic hardship, Chevrolet's focus on durability and value became more important than ever. The company's advertising from this era often depicted its cars as dependable partners in work life and family life, capable of weathering tough times. It was during this period, in 1935, that a nameplate was born that would become the longest running in automotive history, the Suburban. Initially conceived as a rugged, steel-bodied carry-all wagon built on a commercial chassis, the Suburban could transport up to 8 people or a large amount of cargo, making it an indispensable tool for businesses and large families alike. This era solidified Chevrolet's image as the quintessential American brand for everyday people. The cars were seen on farms, in burgeoning suburbs, and on the streets of every city. The company expanded its manufacturing footprint, building assembly plants across the United States, creating thousands of jobs and becoming an integral part of local economies. Chevrolet wasn't just selling cars, it was weaving itself into the fabric of American life. It became a symbol of reliability, practicality, and the accessible dream of mobility, a reputation that would carry it through the war years and into an unprecedented era of post-war prosperity. The years following World War II unleashed a wave of optimism and prosperity across America. A booming economy, the development of the interstate highway system, and a burgeoning suburban culture created a fervent love affair with the automobile. Cars became more than just transportation. They were powerful symbols of freedom, status, and personal identity. Chevrolet was perfectly positioned to capture the spirit of this new age, introducing models that would become legendary icons of American automotive history, each one catering to different facets of the nation's dreams and desires. While its story began in the 1930s, the Chevrolet Suburban truly came into its own in the post-war era, evolving from a utilitarian vehicle into the forerunner of the modern SUV. It was the go-to vehicle for families on long road trips, offering unmatched space for passengers and luggage. For contractors and tradespeople, it remained a durable workhorse. The Suburban's enduring appeal was its incredible versatility, letting it remain in continuous production for nearly a century, adapting to changing needs while carrying everything and everyone. In 1953, Chevrolet unveiled the complete opposite of the Suburban, the Corvette. It was a radical statement, a stunning 2-seat sports car with a revolutionary fiberglass body. Initially powered by the Blue Flame 6-cylinder, the Corvette was more a stylish cruiser than a pure performance car. But with the small block V8 in 1955, the Corvette transformed into a world-class sports car capable of breathtaking speed and agility. It became America's sports car, an aspirational halo for Chevrolet, appearing in movies and TV as the ultimate symbol of cool. As the 1960s roared, the pony car segment emerged with the Mustang. Chevrolet's answer, arriving in 1966 for 1967, was the Camaro. Long hood, short deck, aggressive styling. The Camaro was an instant sensation, offered from economical 6-cylinders to fire-breathing V8s. The Camaro versus Mustang rivalry became legendary, defining the muscle car era. Alongside these models, the Impala reigned as one of America's best-selling full-size family cars, offering style, comfort, and performance in a single popular package. Each of these iconic models captured a different aspect of American automotive desires. They weren't just vehicles, they were expressions of American dreams and aspirations. These models established Chevrolet as a creator of automotive legends. Their influence continues today, with modern interpretations carrying forward the spirit and innovation that made them icons of American automotive history. Chevrolet didn't just build cars, it built a cultural phenomenon. A huge part of its success was mastery of advertising and marketing, transforming vehicles into objects of desire and aspiration. In the 1950s and 60s, campaigns were optimistic, colorful, and deeply ingrained in the American psyche. The famous "See the USA in Your Chevrolet" jingle, sung by Dinah Shore, became an unofficial anthem for the age of the family road trip. These ads didn't just sell features. They sold an idyllic vision of American life, one made possible by a dependable and stylish Chevrolet. The brand's influence extended far beyond television commercials and magazine spreads. Chevrolet cars became fixtures in popular culture, movies, television shows, and popular songs. From the rebellious spirit of a '57 Bel Air in a rock and roll song to the heroic role of a Camaro in a blockbuster film. This integration into arts and media created emotional connections that transcended simple brand loyalty. A Chevrolet wasn't just a car, it was a piece of Americana, a rolling repository of memories and cultural meaning. While Chevrolet was cementing its status as an American icon at home, the company was also expanding its footprint across the globe: Europe, South America, Australia, and Asia. This global strategy often involved tailoring products to meet local needs and preferences. In some regions like Brazil, Chevrolet developed unique models that were never sold in the United States, building a strong and independent brand identity. This international expansion transformed Chevrolet from an American powerhouse into a truly global name in the automotive industry. Back in North America, another crucial part of the Chevrolet story was gaining unstoppable momentum: the pickup truck. While Chevrolet had been building trucks since 1918, the post-war era saw them evolve from rugged farm implements into versatile vehicles for work, recreation, and daily driving. Models like the CK series gained immense popularity for their toughness and reliability. By the end of the 20th century, the pickup truck line, eventually consolidated under the iconic Silverado nameplate in 1999, had become one of the most important and profitable segments for the entire company. The Silverado was and remains a sales titan, a testament to Chevrolet's deep understanding of the American truck buyer. Through advertising mastery, global expansion, and truck innovation, Chevrolet had become more than a car company. It was an American institution that had successfully exported its values and vehicles around the world, creating lasting connections with customers across multiple generations and continents. The road for Chevrolet was not always a smoothly paved highway. The 1970s brought a series of unprecedented challenges that shook the foundations of the entire American auto industry. The decade began with the establishment of the Environmental Protection Agency and new emissions regulations that forced automakers to detune the powerful V8 engines of the muscle car era. Performance began to wane just as a far greater crisis loomed on the horizon. The 1973 oil crisis, triggered by an OPEC embargo, sent shockwaves through the nation. Gas prices soared. Long lines formed at filling stations, creating a sudden and dramatic shift in consumer demand. Suddenly, the large, fuel-thirsty sedans and powerful V8s were seen as liabilities. American consumers for the first time began to look seriously at smaller, more fuel-efficient vehicles. This created a massive opening for Japanese automakers like Toyota, Honda, and Datsun, who had been specializing in precisely these types of cars. Their vehicles were not only economical, but also gained a reputation for impressive reliability and build quality, presenting a formidable challenge to the dominance of Detroit's Big Three. Chevrolet and other American brands were caught off guard, forced to scramble to develop smaller cars like the Chevette to compete. The 1980s continued this period of intense competition and soul-searching. While Chevrolet found success with some models, the decade was marked by a struggle to match the perceived quality and efficiency of its foreign rivals. This era, often referred to as the Malaise era by automotive enthusiasts, forced American automakers to re-engineer their products, modernize their factories, and adapt to a new global reality. It was a humbling period of learning where the company had to confront issues of quality control and evolving consumer expectations head-on. The wins were hard-fought, and the losses served as critical lessons. Despite these struggles, Chevrolet persevered. The brand continued to innovate where it could, introducing new technologies and maintaining its stronghold in the profitable truck and full-size car markets. The challenges of the 70s and 80s, while painful, ultimately forced the company to become more resilient, more globally aware, and more focused on the fundamentals of quality and efficiency. It was a crucible that tested the brand's resolve and set the stage for a period of recovery and reinvention. The easy dominance of the post-war years was over, replaced by a new era of fierce competition that would demand constant improvement to survive and thrive. As the 20th century drew to a close, the automotive industry was on the cusp of a technological revolution, and safety was moving from a secondary concern to a primary selling point. Decades of advocacy and new government regulations, mandatory seatbelt laws, and standardized crash testing meant that Chevrolet, like its competitors, began to invest heavily in making its vehicles safer for drivers and passengers. This shift represented a profound change in engineering philosophy, where protecting human life became as important as performance or style. The results of this new focus were tangible and life-saving. Features that were once considered luxuries or were completely non-existent became standard equipment. Chevrolet models began to incorporate critical safety systems like anti-lock brakes and airbags. The very structure of the cars changed, with the development of crumple zones and reinforced safety cages. These advancements were not always visible, but they made Chevrolet vehicles significantly safer than any of their predecessors, marking a new era of responsibility in automotive design. Beyond safety, the rise of the microprocessor ushered in the digital age for the automobile. Computers began to control nearly every aspect of a vehicle's operation, leading to dramatic improvements in efficiency, reliability, and performance. Electronically controlled fuel injection replaced carburetors, allowing engines to run cleaner and use less gasoline while producing more consistent power. Onboard diagnostic systems became standard, allowing technicians to quickly identify and fix problems by simply plugging a computer into the car's port. This digital integration made cars smarter, more efficient, and easier to maintain than ever before. This technological wave also transformed the experience inside the car. The dashboard, once a simple collection of analog gauges, began to evolve. Digital displays, trip computers, and sophisticated climate control systems became standard features. The evolution of in-car entertainment moved from AM/FM radios to cassette players to CD players to fully integrated infotainment systems. This period saw Chevrolet working diligently to integrate these new electronics into its lineup, striving to keep its models modern and competitive in a rapidly changing technological landscape. These technological advances laid the foundation for even more sophisticated systems to come. By embracing both safety and technology, Chevrolet positioned itself for the next phase of automotive evolution, where digital systems would become even more central to the driving experience and environmental concerns would drive the next major transformation in powertrain technology. Entering the 21st century, the automotive industry faced its next great challenge: the growing need for environmental sustainability. Concerns about climate change, air pollution, and dependence on fossil fuels spurred a global push toward cleaner and more efficient vehicles. Chevrolet, with its long history of adapting to change, began to seriously explore new powertrain technologies. The company invested in developing more efficient gasoline engines, hybrid vehicles, and fully electric cars. This pivot represented one of the most significant transformations in the company's 100-year history. A landmark moment came in 2016 with the launch of the Chevrolet Bolt EV. The Bolt was a game-changer. It was one of the first mass-market, long-range electric vehicles that was relatively affordable. With an EPA-rated range of over 200 miles on a single charge, it proved that electric cars could be practical for daily driving, not just niche novelties. The Bolt EV was a clear and bold statement that Chevrolet was committed to being a leader in the electric revolution. This focus on electrification was part of a broader evolution in Chevrolet's design and technology. The company's entire lineup underwent a modernization. Vehicle designs became more aerodynamic to improve fuel efficiency, whether for a gasoline-powered truck or an electric car. At the same time, rapid advancement of driver assistance systems brought a new level of safety and convenience. Lane keeping assist, forward collision alert, and automatic emergency braking started to become available on mainstream Chevrolet models. The popularity of trucks and SUVs did not wane, it grew stronger. Chevrolet continued to invest heavily in its Silverado, Suburban, and Tahoe lineups, making them more capable, comfortable, and technologically advanced than ever before. However, the brand demonstrated its adaptability by simultaneously developing a portfolio of vehicles for a new era. It showed that the same company known for its powerful V8 trucks could also produce a silent, zero-emissions electric car for urban commuters. This dual focus on its traditional strengths and future-oriented technologies defined Chevrolet's strategy for navigating the complex demands of the modern automotive market. From its founding in 1911 by a daring race car driver and a brilliant industrialist, the story of Chevrolet is a sweeping saga of innovation, adaptation, and cultural impact. For over a century, it has been a constant presence on the American road and around the world. It rose to prominence by challenging the status quo, offering more style, more features, and more performance for the money. Its journey has been marked by the creation of true automotive icons: the Suburban, Corvette, Camaro, Impala, and Silverado, each capturing different aspects of American automotive dreams. Today, Chevrolet stands at another historic crossroads, fully committed to an electric future. With models like the Bolt EV and a growing lineup of electric trucks and SUVs on the horizon, it is actively working to lead the transition to sustainable transportation. The story of Chevrolet continues to unfold, driven by the same spirit of ambition and innovation that started it all back in 1911. Its long road continues, blending its rich heritage with the promise of a cleaner, safer, and more connected world for generations to come.